writing for the media and the other things. I think one important feature to note is that this is one of the first of its kind of initiative by any government. We have heard of governments asking philanthropists or the CSR investors to raise funds, but we have not heard of government funding the private sector. And there's a very noble thought behind that, because to an extent, sometimes, to be fair to the private sector, I think they have also been taken by surprise, because they never thought that we'd open up the nuclear sector also one day and the space sector. So some of those sectors which most of us had reconciled would always confine to the public sector, as the convention had been for the last 6-7 decades. For that, I must appreciate and thank Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi because of his out-of-box thinking. It was possible to break some of these taboos of the past. Now, as far as this is concerned, we've already been told to you this is 1 lakh crore fund, and the merit of this is, the advantage of this is that it's very low interest, just about 2% or even flexible. It's going to be long term, it's also going to cover, give you a provision of equity covering the risk. So all that put together, I think this is the easiest possible funding or loaning happening. Now, this the first call launch, as was being mentioned by Professor Abhay, I think again it's a hard thing, and we were saying 191 proposals we have received. And what I was keen to know, and I asked him out of 191, how many are from purely private parties, because you have certain governments who are into this business. And it was so gladdening and gratifying to find that just about 25 were in one way or the other related to the government sector, PSUs or otherwise the bank. So that means almost 150 or more than this. So almost 160 from the private. So that means huge amount of interest and response from the private sector to this initiative of the government. Now it's the responsibility, because here on is the responsibility to carry forward the spirit with which this has been launched. Sometimes, whenever some new loan provision comes from the government side, the immediate mindset as it has been conditioned over the last 6-7 decades is how to grab the government money. So we have to make sure that it is being funded or being utilized for the purpose and the spirit that is being envisaged. The spirit is, as Mr. Pathak very nicely explained to you, you have to have 3-4 levels. And that doesn't mean because some of the youngsters come and say, what about the beginners or what are the starters? But they have a huge ecosystem. So this also is a part of a larger ecosystem. And even within TDP, you have some other components of as you were saying, the core funding is there, other things are there. But after you have matured to a certain level, then you take off so that then you can be on your own and we can have a healthy partnership amongst all of us. So that is the purpose that we have to explain to them. And